Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Stacia. So last episode we started into a bit of Ars Nouveau, and today we're going to continue on with a bit more. Now if you ever played around with Ars Magica, you know that beyond just spell making, there was a lot of like automation and little odds and ends and type stuff that you could do with it, and Ars Nouveau is no different. There's a lot that we can do with it. I'm just going to go zooming out a good ways. And we're going to let this load real quick. And we're going to take a look and see if we can find ourselves a cow. Because I would like to get a milk bucket real quick. There's a cow. Whoop. Overshot it a little bit. And we're going to grab ourselves just a milk bucket. And what we want to do is we want to get the dispel spell. So we'll go ahead, put our magical clay in and our milk bucket and get that running. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and learn to spell. And we're going to open this up. We're going to make ourselves a new spell here. We're going to call this Dispel. And we're going to say it's going to be a projectile dispel. And the rest of this doesn't really matter that much. So we're going to go ahead and just create that. Okay. Now, let's make sure our leap is set. Let's see, one other thing I would like to grab real quick is just some bone meal. And we're going to set out into the world and see if we can come across sylphs or carbuncles or witches. That's what we need at the moment. And this can take a little while, but that's fine. The things that I'm really looking for are sylphs and witches, though. Those two in particular. Carbuncles would be nice, but it's not really a necessity that we find them for what I have in mind. But it is a necessity that we find at least sylphs and ideally sylphs and witches. And carbuncles and sylphs, just mainly just looking around like wooded areas. I actually had a sylph near my base for a while, and I was hoping it would stay there until we got to Ars Magica, but it didn't. It took off on me. It actually hung out there for a long time, though. Let me actually change this to icons. And we'll see if maybe, at least this way we know what, well, the thing is rats are going to show up, and rats are everywhere. Rats are kind of like annoyingly common. Oh, there's a carbuncle. If we throw a gold nugget down, there we go. He's going to grab it. He's going to pack it around and be all happy about it. And then in a second, there we go. He's going to turn into a couple carbuncle shards. And with these, we can make carbuncle charms. Now, what I'm actually after, though, and by the way, it's definitely worth probably making a spawner for them, because then you could just spawn infinite amounts of them. Would actually be kind of beneficial to do that if you have the means to do so, and if you want to do a lot of automation with, oh, there's a sylph, if you want to do a lot of automation with Ars as well. Alright, so for the sylph, what we're going to do is we're going to take our tree and we're going to take our bone meal, we're going to plant our tree near it and just bone meal that up, and it's going to make her rather happy. And there we go, she's going to turn into a sylph shard. Alright, now, there's that. Now, if only I could find a witch. Oh, there's another sylph. Perfect. Come here. Get off this tree. Get off this tree. I think her range that she checks is like 10 blocks, so that should be alright. There we go. And we got another sylph shard. Perfect. Now we just need really the witch, which is kind of the easier one, I think. To find. Of course, I haven't seen any, so I say that, but I'm liable to have a lot of issues finding them. I'm trying to use my leap. I like my leap spells, but I'm trying to use them like sparingly, so it doesn't just like lag out the server. Because you do move like crazy fast with leap. Okay, I'm just kind of running around this swamp tonight, still looking for a witch. I mean, I guess I can go ahead and set up without a witch. It would just be nicer to have one, because I would like to have one, but I do have them spawn every once in a while around my base, so I guess I could go over there and be working on some other stuff. But I did get the beehive that we saw, and I'm up to 4 sylph shards, which is good. I mean, I'm only gonna need like 1 today, but down the road maybe it could be useful. I don't think there's a witch spawner in this swamp, but I'm just kind of hanging around here because I can easily kind of pop between shorelines and hope that I find a witch. Oh, what do we got here? I see a waystone for starters. I'm gonna take it. And let's head up. Tome of Boots. Common Affix Tome. Tome of the Others. I'm not worried about all these, because of course I can craft these. Scrapping. And up at the top we have... oh no. That was a trap chest. I noticed it like right as I opened that. I was like, oh man. Because I noticed the red on there, but that's too bad. There was an epic affix tome, which is actually pretty nice. I don't know if we can make the affix tomes. If we get the shards, we can make them. But oh well. That was cool though. We saw it. I know there's the common affixed home. I mean, I guess I don't need a flower pot, so I guess I can take it. The epic one I wouldn't have minded having, to be honest, because that would have been quite useful, but oh well. Know for next time that it's going to be trapped. I just don't, it's one of those things when traps do show up, you just don't think about them. Like, it's very obvious when the chest has the red on there, but it's just like an automatic thing, like, ooh, chest. I'm going to open this thing. Because trap chests are so very rarely used. And to make the sylph shard, we're going to need a mana bloom seed and a mana bloom. We're going to need mana gem, diamond, wheat seeds, oak, birch, and spruce saplings. Just kind of looking around to see if there's any witches. I mean, we can actually make witch spawn eggs, but they're a little bit expensive for us at the moment. And to make the mana bloom seeds, where you at? Right there. That's going to be 4 mana gems and any kind of seed. Okay, I've actually got to pop down and do a little bit of mining to get some more mana gems real quick. Okay, I got 21 ore. That should be fine. Okay, so for the mana bloom, any kind of seed, 4 of those. There's a few things we have to craft before we can get this underway, but that's fine. It's not going to take us too long. It's all pretty straightforward stuff because it's all default recipe stuff. So let's go ahead. We'll throw that in. Or no, I'm sorry. Just 4 of those. And then our spinach seeds. Get that crafted up. That's going to get us a mana bloom seed. There we go. And I'm actually probably going to want a couple of these, but I'll get them in just a second. Alright, so let's pop over. And we should have some empty farmland right over here. We're going to go ahead and put that in. I think bone meal does work on it though, so we can use that to help us out a little bit. Now in addition, I'm going to have to get another one of those, I know, because it's going to take a fully grown mana bloom, but I'll get that in just a second because I will need the seed and a mana bloom. And if we harvest it, there is our mana bloom. And I guess, I could steal the seed. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take the seed, because I'll make another one once I'm ready to actually start making the armor. But right now I just need that. So let's go ahead and make our sylph shard. I'm not going to worry about making the armor until I can make the archmage. So once we go to the end, which realistically we could go to the end at any point. It's not going to be difficult for us, I don't think. Plus, I know the Ender Dragon was killed being on a server, it gets killed like almost instantly. And here we go. And we're not going to be done just yet. This is just step 1. Part 1 of getting this set up. So we'll get that crafted up. That's going to get us our sylph. And hopefully we've run across a witch at some point. But there's our sylph charm. And now what we need to do is we need to get ourselves a summoning crystal. This right here. Okay, more diamonds. I need to just carry these things around with me. Oh, but coming over here, it reminds me how few diamonds I actually have. I do have a lot of diamond ore, though. To be fair, I have a lot of diamond ore. I've just been mining it with silk touch and I haven't been processing it. So, I guess it's not that bad. We're not really bad off for diamonds at the moment. Then we need those, and then we need to get ourselves a mana gem block. Bum, bum, bum. Throw that in. And that's going to turn into a summoning crystal for us. And there we go. There's that. And then we're going to also need a chest. Alright. And I think that's going to be... Well, we can go ahead and set this up, but I'm going to have to do a few other things here in just a second. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to set up our chest just kind of right over here. And our summoning crystal just kind of right over here. And let's go ahead and right click this. And we're going to say 9 by 9. And let's go ahead and just break a little bit of this grass real quick. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's pop over. It's still growing. That's fine. Let's get a hoe. And let's grab our bone meal. And we are going to just come over here to the strawberry crops and just start bone milling these out real quick. Get as many strawberries as we can, because this is what I use for food, right? Pretty much exclusively, I just use fruit punch, and then I eat other things occasionally for extra hearts. And that's really it. Fruit punch is just crazy filling for some reason, and it just takes 3 strawberries. And what we're going to do, let's get ourselves... Hey, there's a carbuncle. Come here, carbuncle. Right next to my base. Look at that. Throw that down. There you go. I knew you'd want it. I just knew it. And we got a carbuncle shard. Great. Now, if only witches would show up. Oh, I hate them. And see, it's a little bit tricky because, I mean, ideally we would just set a 9 by 9 farm up. But really we need to have a lot of this stuff be kind of naturey. So we're just going to go in like right here and put our bucket of water in, and then we're just going to build out like 1, 2, that, and then we can come out 4 here and just kind of dig us out a little farmland here. That should be good for now, and then we'll have to kind of gauge it and see if she likes it or not. So let's go ahead and just put this in, and we're just going to be growing exclusively strawberries. Okay, and then if we take our sylph charm, right click that into the summoning crystal, it's going to spawn us a sylph. And you can see her mood is content. She seems content, but she could be better. There's not appear to be much diversity. So we need more, basically, just plants around her. Now let's come over. We do want to keep her kind of protected. I can't remember if mobs will just naturally attack her. I don't think so. But I'd rather be safe. So I'll tell you what, for right now, until I figure out what I want to build around this, let's go ahead and just stone it in. Okay, she's finally wandered her way back over. I mean, she can still get out in some places, but I just kind of want to keep her safe and keep her working until I get a chance to build this out and figure out like a block palette and stuff like that. Oh, come back in here. Come back in here. It's like your little haven. Get back in there. Okay, let me pop over and sleep real quick. Okay, she's inside. I got a door on this. Great. So now she's kind of just trapped in here. I'm sure she's going to love it. And what she's going... Well, actually, let's work on her mood first, and then I'll show you what she does. The random, like, short bursts of jukebox in this mod pack are just kind of funny. Let's grab... Yeah, let's grab peony. Let's grab some sugarcane. Ideally, you want kind of a diverse selection of things for her to kind of have around her. Let's grab maybe a pumpkin. And let's grab a rose bush. And let's take those over. And there is diminishing returns. There's a point, like if you have too much of something, like I probably have too many strawberry plants. Like if you have different types of seeds planted and things like that, it makes her happier. Let's just put in like rose bush. Let's put in peony. And she's basically just going to like scan the plants around her. So let's grab that. We're going to plant some sugarcane in here. And we might even throw in a little bit of bamboo for good measure. And it'll take her a minute before she updates and tells us exactly how she's feeling, but that's okay. Drop in that. Drop in that. We'll probably build her a nice little, like, safe haven type building. Right now she's just content. We'll have to give her a few minutes before she actually fully updates, though. Okay, it's been a few minutes, and if we take a look inside the chest, you can see we've got some oak saplings, we've got strawberries, dirt, oak logs, industrial hemp seeds. This is stuff that she found just hanging out in here. Now, she's going to get a lot of strawberries, and what we can do, because there's more strawberries than anything in here, and what we can do is we can actually tell her, like, don't get dirt, because we don't want dirt, or don't get, you know, oak wood, for example, because I don't want oak wood and oak saplings. So let's do that. Let's do a deny item scroll. So blank parchment, that's going to be mana. Of course, it's going to be mana fiber. Okay. Let me grab this. I do like the wheat seeds, though, because I'll need them for Britannia. I just wish I could find a witch. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let me get a couple bone blocks to help us get started. And let's go craft this out. And we're going to plant some mana blooms in there with her. So that way I don't have to farm them. She can handle them. I want strawberries for food. And I want mana gems. Or, not mana gems, but mana blooms. Because we're going to need them. Increasingly more and more as we move forward. Because the mana fiber, it's going to be used for our blank parchment, which we're going to use for some of our automation. We're also going to need it for making our armor and our runic chalk. Which we will definitely be getting into. There's a lot of good enchantments in here that we can delve into. So let's grab our mana bloom seed and let's go plant this. And another thing we can do... No, don't go out the door. We can right click. The sylph would be excited to have this in their home. Okay. So it's going to make her even happier to have some mana bloom in here. So let's go ahead and just plant this. We'll just do... Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that, but we'll just do a row right here. And plan to plant more mana blooms. Because basically what she's doing is theoretically breaking these things, and what she would get from it is what she's putting in here. So she breaks leaves, she finds oak saplings, she breaks wood, she gets oak logs, and so on. We're going to use this, and for crops it would be like the fully grown crop. They don't actually have to be like fully grown for her to produce items from them. So just a heads up there. But I'm going to go ahead and get a few of these mana blooms so that we can get some blank parchment. Alright, but there's a bunch of mana fiber. See, I'm going to have tons of stuff really, really quick. See, what they should do is anything like mana fiber or whatnot where you can easily have way too much of it, they should just make a decorative block that takes it. And then it's like, it's no longer a concern because you always have a use for it. There's 3 blank parchments, cobblestone, And let's go ahead and grab, I guess we'll take pumpkins, seeds. I don't want oak saplings. I don't want oak logs. I don't want dirt. That's really the big things. And so what we'll do is we'll come over to our scribes table. We will put one of these in, and then we're just going to shift right click, item added, and then shift right click, item added, and then shift right click the dirt, item added. And then if we pull that off, we have a deny list that says don't get dirt, oak logs, or oak saplings. And then we're just going to pop over and right click her with that. She will now ignore these items. And we can update this list as we go on, as she pulls up things that we just don't want, like flax. Don't want any of these things. The flax, maybe I'll keep it. I mean, sometimes I need string. She's probably going to get just this wild mix of Pam's stuff. So probably plugging this up 2 drawers pretty quick will be beneficial to us. Though, I don't know. I don't know that mobs attack her. I think it's more like whelps only, and that's because whelps can attack them. Maybe that's why. How would you like a sunflower? She would be excited for it. What about bamboo? Would you like... The sylph likes this block. Ooh. Yes, she does. Let's plant some bamboo down along here. And let me fix this wall. That way I can bring my bamboo down. Just bear in mind that, like I said, there are diminishing returns on this, so planting a whole bunch of it's not going to have much effect, you know, after a certain point. But you could see she's made barley seeds and apples. Yeah, we're going to have to definitely add more storage to this. What I'll probably do is do that, and that way, like, all this space down here is going to be strawberries, and nothing else can go there. So there'll come a point where she's like, well, I can't put nothing but these things in here. So she'll only be putting these things in here, and everything else, I guess, probably just get voided. Still hasn't gotten any mana bloom. We'll see if that comes up. Now she's getting sticks. She'll probably be able to get bamboo. I mean, we could make like a crazy farm, and we will. Let me see. How big is her actual range, though? 10 blocks. In any direction. Well, in that case, I tell you what, we're going to expand this out. We got a lot of strawberries. We want a high proportion of strawberries to everything else, because that means we're going to get a lot more strawberries than anything else. Give me just a minute, or maybe a few hours, I don't know. And let me figure out exactly how I want to build this out. Maybe start laying some of this out. And we're going to build this place out real nice and start getting a lot of materials from this. We might as well. I don't see myself... I might find a witch, but they seem super rare. Like we might struggle some with finding them, I think. Yes, she's going to be scanning all the way out to this point here. This is actually going to be great. I was thinking it was I was thinking it was this range, the 9x9, and that's not the case. So, kind of got her little area marked here. So you can see that she's going to come out to there, out to there, out to there. So she's actually going to cover a fairly large area. So I'm going to take some time. I'm going to get some of this like built out, figured out how I want to build it, get it built out, laid out a little bit. And then we're going to come back and, I don't know, we might find a witch during this time, because sometimes they do spawn around the base, but I'm not going to hold my breath, to be honest. Oh! Please don't despawn. Please don't despawn. Please don't despawn. Okay, let me grab my dispel spell. All these silly mobs that I don't need. Let me cut down some of them real quick. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to damage her down. Maybe hit her one more time. And then dispel her. And that is going to get us a wixie shard. Woo! And that's what I want. I really, really want one of those. Okay, so now I'm going to go AFK. We'll set up the wixie after we get everything else set up, but I kind of want to get that laid out and looking nice. Because the space is a lot bigger than I was thinking. and we could do a lot more with that. So let me get something built out for us, like a little sylph greenhouse or something. It's kind of maybe what I'm thinking, but we'll see. And I'll be back here in a bit. Okay, I actually ripped up all my fields. They're pretty much gone at this point. I'm going to fill in the water, but if we head over, I've started laying out a little area, and we'll continue. I have a plan for this area, so we'll continue adding on to it. And getting rid of some of this tall grass. It's a little bit dense at the moment coming in here. But as you can see, I moved all of our stuff over for, our crafting and everything. And then we got our scribe's table. Over here, this is just a chest with some random junk in it. And this right here, right over here, this is everything that she's kind of accumulated. After just letting her run rampant for a little bit. This is everything that she's accumulated in this storage crate. So quite a bit of things. Now what we're going to do, my plan is, we're going to be using her for, it basically we really won't get to have the full effect until we get drawer controller, but we're basically going to use her like a botanical quarry would be from environmental tech. So we're going to just give her access to everything that we could possibly want in here. You can see that she is getting mystical flowers. And actually, if you want to see how much she gets per tick, an example of everything that she got in just a single tick, just boom, a lot of stuff at once. So you can see that she's actually going to be pretty effective. She's getting a lot of strawberries and things, and just kind of working this little area. Now she is growing a lot of grass. But we can do paths and things like that to cut down on the amount of grass that's in this area. So, and this stuff may get moved so we can have a path that comes through here. Now, what I want to do is, let me pull this back up. And we're going to go ahead and make 2 more charms today. First up, we're going to make a carbuncle charm. So we're just going to lay this out. And this. Throw in our carbuncle shard. Get that crafting, and then we're also going to make ourselves a wixie charm. One of these right here. Pull that out. There's our carbuncle charm. And then we'll get our wixie charm. And we'll toss that in. There we go. And this is going to give us carbuncles and wixies, wixies allow for crafting both items and potions, and carbuncles are kind of your item management. Now there is one other additional charm, which is the welt, which we're going to talk about that later, not today, but we are going to talk about that later, as well as spell turrets. These right here, we're going to talk about those and some of the rest of the stuff later on, but for today, what I want to do is we're going to set up a little bit of automation. Now, let me cut away some of this tall grass because it is a bit excessive at the moment. And what we're going to do, we're going to set up a cauldron, and this cauldron is going to set like right in here. This should be close enough that it can, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it should be close enough that we can get mana off of that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to right click our wixie charm on there. And you'll notice it changes this to a wixie cauldron. And if we give it a second, it's going to spawn us a wixie. This little girl right here. And she's going to hang out in the cauldron. Since it does have purple in there, it does mean that it is pulling mana from this jar effectively. So we don't have any issues there. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take fruit punch. And we're just going to right click the cauldron. It's going to say recipe set. And you can see up at the top left, it says crafting fruit punch. Now each of these cauldrons can really only do like 1 potion or 1 crafting recipe. But for our needs right now, that's going to be fine. And long term, if we decide to set up a little crafting area with wixies, we can have a bunch of them in an area and have them doing a lot of our auto crafting. So that'll be kind of fun. I don't know how it'll be on performance though. That's my only concern, having a lot of like entities in the world. But now what we're going to do, we're going to tear out part of this tree. What do I have? Why am I so fast? Okay, that must... There we go. Oh, I'm getting haste 3. That's what it is. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to set down a carbuncle charm. And actually, let me go ahead and throw a fruit punch into there. And I'll come around and I'll lock it with my key in a minute. But if we right-click the ground right here with our carbuncle charm, it's going to set down our carbuncle. And then let's put down a chest setting right. It doesn't really matter. Let's put the chest right here. And we're going to put an item frame on the front of this. And this is going to allow us to filter a little bit. And on this item frame, we're going to put down a juicer into that. And then we'll go ahead and we will take and put in our juicer right there. And we are going to set up a recipe. And my only thing is, I don't know if she's going to be able to see the items in this diamond storage crate. Because I do know that that she had some issues seeing stuff inside of drawers. Like, it almost seems like she can pretty much only see chests. So that is something that we have to worry about. But we're going to go ahead and, let's see, right-click the carbuncle, shift right-click the chest, and it says the carbuncle will store items here. And so now, for example, if we took this juicer and we were to throw it down, and we give the carbuncle a second to see it, it's going to grab it, it's going to take it, and it's going to stick it in this chest. Okay. And then, let's see, do we want to have, yeah, let me actually pop over real quick, because if she's not seeing the storage crate, because she should be crafting right now if she was seeing the storage crate. I actually didn't test her with storage crates, and I should have, but I did not. But I'm kind of thinking a little crafting area of wixies would be kind of cool, to be honest. Oh, and let's go ahead and we're going to shift right click the frame drawer and then right click the carbuncle. No, I'm sorry. Let's shift right click the carbuncle. Right click the carbuncle, shift right click the chest, right click the carbuncle, shift right click the frame drawer. And then let's set up another chest, because I'm assuming that should be close enough that she can see it. I think it's shift right click the storage crate first and then right click the carbuncle. Now he's going to take items from the diamond storage crate that's over there. And then let's go ahead and put an item frame. Now you can do the parchment papers that are deny and allow. You can do those with carbuncle, and we will later on. We'll do some stuff with those. But for right now, item frames with just the item, just like Britannia, the way it works, this works perfectly fine for us. And so then we're going to right click the carbuncle, shift right click the chest, and carbuncle is now going to be able to store strawberries into this chest. So he's going to run over, he's going to put some strawberries in there. And then if we give the wixie a moment, you're going to see she runs over and she grabs the juicer, she dumps it into her cauldron, then she comes over here and she grabs the strawberries and starts dumping them into the cauldron. And then in a minute, you can see she just made a fruit punch. He goes over, he delivers it to the frame drawer, he gets stuck for a moment. We give him a minute, and eventually he's going to see the juicer and go back over there. There we go. And he's going to put the juicer back in the chest, and then she goes back to work. Now we can speed this up by just making additional juicers. So we'll do that real quick. I'll make a few for now. As long as she has like 2, honestly, that would be perfectly fine. Yeah, I've got enough bricks in here to make another one. So I'll just give her 1 extra, and then that should be fine for the time being. Just dump that into there. Now, right now, the only concern with this is we have no strawberries in here, right? That's really the only concern, is this kind of filling up with other stuff. Now, that's not going to be a concern once we set up an ender chest system that then takes the items and sends them off, and we'll do some additional sorting. But for right now, I'm going to have to kind of manually clean this out. Either that or... Actually, I wonder about something. Let me see if this works. Because if this works, this will fix everything for us. For now. If we were to put this here, does she get strawberries? Oh no, she is getting strawberries in that. Perfect. So in that case, let me make a drawer real quick. I think I made a key, but I don't know where I put it. Okay, so there is a key. And we will just pop over and lock in strawberries. And instead have the carbuncle pull the strawberries from... instead of from the diamond storage crate, we'll have them pull it from this in that case. So we'll just go ahead and lock that in. We'll go ahead and clear and reset the carbuncle here. Shift right click. Right click. So you can take items from this. And I don't know, I might put a little base here or something. That'll tell the carbuncles to start going and getting strawberries from over here. It got all 43 and dumped them into this chest here. So now the carbuncle will take care of making our fruit punch. Well, the carbuncle and the wixie, so we have 17. So kind of the sylph, the wixie, and the carbuncle are all working together to give us infinite food at this point, which is quite exciting. I may change this drawer to something else, though. I don't know. We'll see if I come up with something a little bit different. Because it is feeling a little bit crowded around here, but I'm thinking like a pedestal underneath the mana jar. Maybe even like the arcane core or something below it, because it'll look pretty cool. And then something underneath this, but yeah, there we go. So now we have automatic food, and we have basically endless resources. You can see Lily of the Valley, Mana Bloom seeds, all these different crops and things. Archwood coming in, which is great. Bamboo, mystical flowers, all the different Pams and thermal crops coming in. There's still a lot of crops to add to this. I don't currently have everything added. You can see that little area over there does have a water source. The rest of these don't have water sources. Well, this one does. Oh, from the sugarcane. But eventually I'd like to put all the different crops here, especially once we get this plugged up to ender storage. And if we take a look, for example, at the sylph, let me find her. Oh, there she is. Of course, she's hanging around near this green leaves here. But if we right-click her, or take a look at the top left, you can see mood extremely happy. It says the sylph is extremely happy. It doesn't seem like it wants anything else. The home is extremely diverse, but sylphs will never turn down a new addition to their home. And right now we don't want sticks, oak logs, oak saplings, or dirt. Which, once we get this plugged up to automatic storage, I will probably re-enable dirt. Just for right now, it's just kind of a clutter that I don't really need, because there's a lot of dirt blocks. That would be like the highest density thing in here, and I don't want that much dirt coming in because it's going to take up a lot of our space that we would use for plants. So right now, though, it is a bit manual to clean this out, though. I can always just shift right click, pull up the diamond storage crate, and then replace it with another storage crate of some sort. So that would work as well. And you'll notice that sometimes the carbuncle does get stuck. Not really a big deal for us, though. Now, one thing we can do, let me grab, I think I want to dye it purple. If you look inside the Worn Notebook, you'll be able to see all the different colors that you can dye the various creatures. Now, I don't think that the wixie can be dyed, but the carbuncle and the sylph can be. And we'll just pop back over. And our sylph, we're going to color this guy purple. There we go. Now we have a little purple sylph. I think it kind of matches the wixie. This all kind of just works hand in hand and gives us some automatic food kind of going on. And like I said, we will do some automatic potions and stuff before long, as well as cover the whelp and the spell turrets. But I do think next episode we are going to be tackling a bit more progression, kind of push onwards. I'd love to get some drawer controllers in due time. That would be great. So that is something I'd like to start working towards at least. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. By the way, these are the 4 archwood trees that I had mentioned. So we have blue, green, purple, and red. But anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.